welcome back to my channel. My name is Nina Nkechi, and today I wanted to just touch base on betrayal trauma. This is something that is like super dear to my heart for the simple fact that it's actually something that I've endured and something that I'm currently going through. So before we get into all the details and just talk about some stuff, I want to give you a little bit of background on what betrayal trauma is. And betrayal trauma is basically when a person or an institution that you depend on for livelihood. So it could be like a parent, it could be a partner, it could be a spouse, a sibling, anybody that's super close to you that you depend on for livelihood or survival. When they violate you in any kind of way, in a huge way. And for me, my experience with betrayal trauma came from my spouse, who is now passed away. Long story short, I found out that after he passed away that he had multiple affairs. It just shook my world up in ways that I cannot even explain to you. It set me down like a rabbit hole of just pain and trauma and heartbreak and sadness and depression and anxiety and all this stuff. So this video is so dear to my heart because it's just a very painful thing to experience. And I feel like in the short time that I have been experiencing it, I feel like I've already grown so much and I've already learned so much. And so the whole basis of this video is to provide you with things that you can do to help yourself through any kind of betrayal trauma, whether it's something that has greatly impacted your life from a parent, from a partner, from a church, from a school, from a caregiver, anything like that. So first thing that I do want to say is the biggest way to heal, and the only way that you can heal, is you have to feel your emotions. That's number one. Everything in you, because I feel like us as humans, we have coping mechanisms, defense mechanisms, things that try to help us and protect us. And sometimes when something is too intense and too raw and too deep, sometimes we try to run away from it, right? We don't want to deal with it. We don't want to think about it. We want to push it to the furthest part of our brain, push it down in our heart and not think about it. That's not going to help you. That's going to ruin every aspect of your life. That's going to ruin your outlook on life, your outlook on people. That's going to ruin the way that you reason. That's going to ruin the way that you're able to receive and accept love. It's not a good idea. The number one thing that I want you to do if you are experiencing any kind of betrayal trauma is own up to how you feel. If you are hurt, be hurt. If you are angry, be angry. If you are enraged, be enraged. I remember when I found out, like, at first what happened with my husband, my blood, like when I say my blood was boiling, I felt so betrayed because I'm like, we have 4 kids, and it's like, this is what you were doing to me while I was being loyal to you, while I was loving you, while I was giving of my body, of my time, of my service, of everything to you. This is what you were doing. Like, literally, I had the most disgusting thoughts. Like, I wanted to literally, like, I don't even know if I could say what I wanted to do. I wanted to literally drive to the grave and like literally dig him up and like have a boxing match. Like, that's how pissed I was. And one thing that I realized is that, like, as much as like that hurt to feel, and as much as like as heavy as that was, I needed to feel that anger, that level of anger, because honestly, when you're betrayed, it is a very angering situation. It's horrible The person that you confided in, trusted in, you know, felt safe around, literally took that for granted, manipulated it, and used it to their advantage, you know? So the number one thing you can do to help yourself in a situation like that is feel your feelings at the deepest level, at the core. If it's anger, go feel that anger. If it's sadness, go feel that sadness. Feel whatever you need to feel to get to the next stage of grief. Grief is not linear, so you're not going to be in denial first, and then you're going to go to anger, and then you're going to go to bargaining. No, it's all over the place. One minute you could be here, one minute you could be here, one minute you could be here. And it's so crazy because when everyone told me that, I didn't believe it. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, I'm going to be fine. I'm the Lord's toughest soldier. I'm fine, whatever. No, that thing hit me like a ton of bricks. And I just remember giving myself the permission to feel my feelings in its entirety. If I needed to cry, I cried. If I needed to rage text somebody, I did it. If I needed to go in the shower and scream, I did it. And after I would do it, it's like I would feel a sense of relief. And in my particular situation, I feel like I had so many layers of grief to mine, because not only did this person betray me, it felt like they got away scot-free as well. Because after he did what he did, guess what? He left. He dipped out of this earth. He passed away. So he passed away in a car accident coming from cheating. So I didn't even have the opportunity to be mad at them, yell at them, say what I wanted to say to them, you know? So the only consolation I could find was doing things like feeling my emotions at the highest level and letting it out. Like literally, like when everything happened, there was times where I would text his phone and not pretend, but just knowing that it's his phone. I know he wouldn't get it. Obviously, he's not here. But texting his phone as if he was still here and saying what I wanted to say. Rage texting, saying every feeling that I wanted to say out loud, or what I would have said, I did it. I wrote myself rage letters. I made sure that I got it out. And how you help yourself on your healing journey by feeling your feelings and getting it out, it's being dispersed out of your body. You don't want to harbor your feelings and your pain in your body, because that's ultimately gonna hurt you, and that's ultimately going to cause you harm. You don't want that. The second thing that I feel like really helped me with betrayal trauma is I immediately started looking for people and discussions that were being had about my situation. So I immediately went to this counseling site where this counselor, he specialized in betrayal trauma, and he actually had a video. I'll link it down below. I had to pay for it, but I can send you guys the website and where to get it. And it was amazing. It was a video just basically speaking to my exact situation, which is basically Secrets After the Grave, I believe is what it's called. And it basically was speaking to, what do you do when you find out that your partner, who is now deceased, was living a life of infidelity, you know? And it's like, that was so important for me to find resources that spoke to what I was going through, because I really didn't know where to go. Like, it was like a sick dream that just kept playing in my head. Like all the women, all the things I found, like it felt like it was haunting me, and I felt like I needed some type of peace. So the second thing that I would really say that helped me, besides feeling my emotions, was going out there and finding people and things, resources to help me validate how I was feeling and how to get out of it, or how to move past it. The counselor that I found I think his name is Dr. Doug Weiss, and his whole ministry is about betrayal trauma, cheating, infidelity, all that stuff. when I tell you guys, game changer, game changer. I went from literally like my chest beating out of my body from just the pain and the agony of everything that I found out to literally understanding like, hey, Nina, this has nothing to do with you. Someone's decisions and how they choose to treat you and how poorly they chose to treat you has nothing to do with you. And for some reason that provided me so much comfort, because with infidelity and just betrayal trauma altogether, there's a part of you sometimes that feels like, what did I do to deserve this? Like, what did I do wrong? You did nothing wrong. You did nothing wrong. And like I'll say again, I believe I said it in one of my videos, insects, bugs, anything in this life, guess what they're all attracted to? They're attracted to light. And when you're a light and you possess light, people, all kinds of people are attracted to you. And unfortunately, people who mistreat you as well are still attracted to you. They still see your quality, they still see your light, but it doesn't mean that they have what it doesn't mean that they're equipped with what they need to sustain and protect and love you just because they're attracted to you or they're attracted to what you possess. I feel like feeling my emotions, finding resources and tools to help me, pushed me forward in ways unimaginable with healing. Sorry about that. I feel like feeling my feelings and allowing myself to be raw and human and vulnerable, in addition to finding resources and tools to help me, I feel like it catapulted me in ways unimaginable in my healing. And then the third thing that I really decided to do, I decided to channel every ounce of love, compassion, everything that I was giving that person that betrayed me, everything that I was giving them, I started giving it to me. Love, attention, care, mercy, grace, all that stuff. I started working on myself. I started going to the gym, loving on myself, giving myself compliments, spoiling myself, buying myself things. All the things that I was doing, pouring into my marriage, I started pouring into myself. And I felt like it just birthed a new level of self-love for myself, and it allowed me to see myself in a completely different light. It allowed me to no longer be the victim or see myself as a victim. Instead, I felt empowered. I'm like, I am beautiful. I am amazing. It's their loss that they did this to me. It's their loss that they chose to harm something that was so good to them, you know? And I think that a lot of times too, when people hurt us, it's their own unhealed, unresolved issues that come out and do it to us. And their inability to work on themselves and grow and self-reflect has nothing to do with us. It's our job. It's not our fault what happened to us, but it's our responsibility to heal. And once I adapted that mindset and just kind of loved on myself and gave myself the love and grace that I always deserved, that I was giving to somebody else, I felt like I just started to blossom. I feel like lastly, the thing that really has helped me like in betrayal trauma is honestly speaking my truth, like I'm doing right now. Speaking my truth, not hiding, not keeping up a facade, not anything like that. Doing that, and also submitting all my pain, all my worries, all my fears about what happened to me and what is to happen in the future, submitting it to God is what I feel like all of that together has really like been a game changer for me. About being open and honest and like speaking about what happened to you, it's not an easy thing to do. Every time that I do it, I'm like, oh my God. especially like on public platforms like YouTube and like Instagram and stuff like that. I always get scared because I'm like, oh my God, what are people gonna think? But when you really think about it, God asked us to be salt and light to this world. God wants us to share our testimony, to turn our mess into a message and our test into a testimony. And it's like, how can you free other people when you're not willing to speak up? When you're not willing to say, hey, this is what I'm going through and this is how I got through it. How are you going to help anybody else? So once I kind of realized that, I was like, okay, Nina, at the end of the day, we're all going to leave this earth one day. You know, you might as well live your life. You might as well live your truth. You might as well carry out God's plan and will for your life and do your thing, you know? So, if you're going through anything right now, in terms of trauma, betrayal trauma, someone wronged you and violated you, just know that number one, God sees you, God hears you, and God said that your enemies are his enemies. You don't have to seek revenge. You don't have to do anything. The only thing that you need to do is heal for yourself. Forgive for yourself so you can be free, so you can remain lighthearted, so you can move on with your life. It's not for them because God is going to deal with them. Don't ever worry about what is going to happen to them. The human in us always wants to worry about that, and we always want justice, but think about how crazy it is for God to for God to deal with somebody. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be more effective than anything that you can ever do, and you have to be able to make peace with that. So, in conclusion, feeling your feelings, go through it. You can't go over it. You can't go under it. You got to go through it. Go through your feelings. Feel them real good. Feel them hard. Number two is go ahead and speak your truth, live your truth, say what you got to say, do what you got to do. Find articles, find videos, find YouTubes, find resources, whatever you can find to help you through your specific situation. It's as simple as literally typing in how to grieve a spouse who cheated on you. That's now passed. How to grieve somebody who essayed me, whatever, and whatever the situation is. How to whatever. You will find millions of resources out there to help you. Thirdly, pour into yourself. Work on yourself. Set goals for yourself. Affirm yourself. Find people that are willing to be there for you, emotionally, physically, whatever. Find people that are willing to be there for you. And then fourth, use your voice. Speak. Remain lighthearted. Get it off your chest. Write about it. Talk about it. Sing about it. Listen, if Beyonce could make a Lemonade album about her being cheated on by her husband, if Summer Walker could make an album about her baby daddy and how he did her, you can talk about your pain. It's okay. It's okay to do it whatever way you want to do it. It's not tea. It's not gossip. It's your truth, and it sets other people free. Just know that you are not alone and that God got you, and there is so much purpose in your pain. And just pour into yourself. Pour into yourself. Read, pray, fast, do whatever you feel like will help you on this journey, and I promise you it is so worth it. Like, I cannot believe that like I'm a widow at 32 and I'm doing this good. Like, I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. Like, I'm not saying that I don't have my hard days. I'm not saying that I don't cry. I'm not saying that I don't have a hard time. What I am saying is that I have hope. I'm saying that I know that God has a future for me. I'm saying that I know that good is to come out of all of this. And God is sustaining me. He's keeping me. And I'm happy. Even though I have my hard times and my hard days, I'm genuinely happy because I know that God, this was not an accident. This was not oops, God wasn't watching and then something happened. God knew that this was going to happen. And if I trust God like I say I do, I have to know that he has a plan. And yeah, so those are my tips for you guys. If you're dealing with anything with betrayal trauma and you want to ask me any questions, if you want to leave any comments below, please feel free to do so. I thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Feel free to watch my other videos. I have other videos up a little bit more in depth about the things that have transpired in my life. Feel free to watch them. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.